Hello Caribbean people, how you doing? Today I'm going to be fooling around with some different seafoods. We have some shark head that's been filleted and marinated, and we grill it and we fry it and we make coconut curry shark and all stuff. So today I was going to do a coconut curry shark for you, but I realized I had a little bit of crayfish left over, and I had some crab legs from Guyana and those lands, and I have some local crab from our land. Look at the difference, yeah? These are more like sea crabs, and these are land crabs. Okay? They cut up the end pieces in them. I just use them. We have a nice claw of a crawfish left over, so we're going to throw it all in there and create a nice curry seafood, and we're going to sit down and eat that with some roti shell or some avocado salad or something interesting. Okay? I'm going to get my pan nice and hot. Throw in some olive oil, like I said. And this lovely pot is sponsored by Pots and Things, and they have some lovely, utensils and crockery and pots and pans at their establishment. I love walking in there and shopping around, and everything is nice and shiny, professional looking. And I was going to use this pan one day to cook a paella for you. You know what a paella is, right? It's rice and seafood and sausages and clams and mussels and shrimp. It's a traditional Spanish dish, And the story is that, a fisherman fell sick one day and he couldn't work, and his wife went out and she gave some of the farmers and the poultry people some fish in exchange for whatever they had and whatever produce. And she went and she just did a big one pot of rice, and it brought him back into good health. And that's the story of the paella. You get variations of it, but it is what it is. Okay, so let me give my crab and my seafood a little wash up. They've been cleaned already. We're just gonna give it a last washing. So, in goes our onions. And it's a nice low fire. This stove doesn't get very hot, so I can sweat my onions as opposed to sauteing them. We're gonna throw in our curry so that I can start to cook it up. I have a mixture of garam masala, curry powder, and jeera in here. Although I have them individually, I'm still going to put a little bit of each one. I'm also going to put a little bit of chili powder in there and a bit of paprika. Get them all cooking nicely so we get those nice flavors in our crab when we go down. Who doesn't like the smell of curry? Tell me. You walk down anywhere and you smell curry, like, something good's cooking. Trinis are so proud of their cooking, of their curry cooking ability, yeah? So in goes our crab and our crawfish. And to give this some body, normally, you could use some spinach or something interesting, some callaloo, some dashing leaves. I'm going to use some cabbage because I have no green leaves today. And you could do this just with the shark alone and create a nice curry shark and sit down and eat that with some roti shell. You could throw some chana peas in there, which I like doing. Gives it some more body and makes it a little more nutritious. Our crawfish is starting to take some color now. Get it nice and red in there. I'm really happy I don't have a high burner here because it's doing exactly what we need. It's just sweating them. Okay? So now in goes some carrots. A little color and a little body. In goes the pumpkin, some pumpkin diced. What else we got to go in there? It's a hint of sugar, not much, very little. Just to create a little dimension. And our salt. Not too much. You can always add more salt. You can't take out. Okay. It's really difficult to try adjusting something that's too salty. It's sort of, you sort of adulterate the dish basically, and you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to compromise the original flavor that you're looking for by having to start adjusting and fooling around with it. Sometimes you turn out a better dish, but hey, let's go for what we're going for. Okay. Now we got our shark here, which I'm going to just cut into nice slivers. Or I want it chunky because shark has a tendency, if it's cut too thin, it can fall apart. I want it to stay intact. Just going to cut those pieces into some nice big size pieces. That should be enough. I'm going to throw this in there. That smells lovely. Right, cameraman? Come on, let me hear your voice. Let the Caribbean hear you. Is that right, cameraman?
Yes, that's right.
There you go. Come on, talk up. When you're cooking curry, you feel like you're cooking up a storm, man, because you feel like you could almost eat it from the start. Curry tastes and smells so good. Okay, now we got our curry going here. What else we got to throw in there? We're going to make it interesting. We're going to throw in some sea almonds, so we have a little crunch there. It's going to be something a little different. And in goes our cabbage, just as I promised. Let's get the heart out. I'm going to put the cabbage in there nice and chunky. So there's a little body to it. We're not being cheap with our cabbage. All right. Cabbage takes curry pretty well also. Guys, you can throw in whatever meats you want in there. It doesn't have to be crab and crawfish. If you don't have this available, you can get mussels, you can get cockle shells, you can get wilts, you can get whatever you feel like. And make something interesting and different, you know? Stop playing around with the same thing all the time. Curry chicken, curry this. You know, fool around, have some fun. Just like Chef Robbie. When I go home at night, I just go into the kitchen and I find whatever is available, and it's usually not much, and I try to do something really interesting with not much. And I'm always happy. A couple nights ago I went home and I couldn't find anything, and I had pizza bread in the oven and no tomato sauce or anything. I had some ketchup in there. So I created a nice little pizza pocket pizza. I made a pizza on pizza bread. Instead of stuffing it with a filling, I put it in the oven with some cheese and whatever little leftovers I could find, my leftover fried fish, my leftover this, leftover that. And I cut it up into wedges, and man, that was the best meal I've had in a long time. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Okay, so now we got we're going to change the heat. So we're going to get our water in there. We're going to throw it into our pan that we have nice and hot there already. In goes our water. We're going to put some coconut milk in there, or cream, whichever makes you happy. Stir that bad boy up. Let that come down to a simmer and thicken up nicely. We're going to have a lovely curry shark and crustacean. How's that for a nice Creole dish? Get maybe a nice slice of avocado on this. So you have a nice balanced dish. Caribbean people, a nice seafood curry of shark and crab and crayfish, some rice, some avocado. Can't beat that. Maybe put a sprig of basil on there for garnish. Or you could chop some up and sprinkle over it. And we got a beautiful dish. To serve it with breadfruit, dasheen, and remember, we go in local, all local. I didn't have any breadfruit or dasheen today because I was a little lazy. It got all used up at lunchtime today, but hey, you guys know basically where we go in with this. Alright, and curry goes excellent with breadfruit or with dasheen, and you know that. So, this is our crab and shark and crawfish curry with coconut milk, rice, and some avocado. Sayonara, we love you guys. Peace and love.